Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Today we're going to talk about the 7 areas of happiness and your manifestation. We need to become aware of these 7 areas and your manifestation so that you stay higher vibe, right? Because that's the point of life. You came down on earth to live life in outrageous joy. You are in source and to be in physical. So now it's just about re-tapping back into that source connection with yourself so that you can be tapped into unlimited internal guidance from your inner being, from the part of you that is connected to source. And to do that, there's the human you and the source you. Source you is your inner being, interoception, if you want the psychology word, because everything on this channel is grounded in psychology, elevated by spirituality. It's just a skill. Interoception, it's about can you be quiet to feel the impulses and sensations of your body, to know which way it's guiding you, your gut, your intuition, your inner being. So you have to tend to that spiritual side of you, and then there's the human side of you. That's what's called well-being. But how well do you take care of the human side of you? And of the human side of you, you've got 3 main areas for an overall sense of well-being. If you live life in a state of well-being, and it's not about being high vibe, happy, happy, joy, joy, it's just well-being is your dominant intent, that's when you can hear the impulses of your body more, your inner being more. There's your mental, your mind, there's your heart, your emotions, and there's your physical body, right? If you're eating bonbons every night before you go to bed, you're not getting a good night's sleep. So overeating in the physical area of your body, right, which is also a huge indicator that you're suppressing your emotional needs and you're not tending to the emotional area of your body. So you're stuffing your face, and now you're getting sugar in your body, which clouds your judgment, which clouds and slows your thinking. So by that activity that you're doing, that action that you're taking, right, and we want thoughts and energy first, followed by the actions. If the action that you're taking is like overeating, which then spills over and gets you out of alignment in all 3 of them, then you've got to change that bonbon overeating, which means you're going to have to create a little more time to tend to your emotions, because clearly you got overwhelmed somewhere throughout the day, throughout the last week. You got a little out of alignment and you co-consumed with, like, just say food, to keep going with this example. That's okay. How quickly can you become aware of it and then tend to your emotions so that your thoughts lead you to eat different food, okay? So that's the point of you have to tend to all 3 of those areas. Your mind, are you giving it enough sleep? Are you giving it proper nutrition so that it can think straight? Are you allowing it to have decompressed time so it's not always on, whether it's like work or whether it's being tuned to other people's emotional needs? Can you just give your mind a break and your emotions? Can you give yourself enough time to be with your emotions? Can you give yourself enough time in between events, meetings, friends, work activities to let your emotions be soothed? Physical body, can you go on a walk? Can you massage it? Well-being, when those 3 are in alignment, that's when the relationship between you and you, the physical you, the human you, and the spiritual you, interoception part of you, is in alignment and you're present in the current moment. So the 7 areas of happiness, I'm going to run through them, and then I'm going to tell you why each area is important to think about and why each area will help you get your manifestation, whether it's a money manifestation, a love manifestation, whatever manifestation it might be, a state of being manifestation. So I'm going to apply it to manifestations, and then we're going to go into live intuitive coaching. And don't forget, guys, High Vibe Monday is back. It's going to be the first 3 Mondays of every month. The first 3 Mondays of every month. You could always come catch me live on my Facebook business page at 2 p.m. We're going to cover a new little topic to help you develop a new skill set to tend to your energy, your emotions, so that you can manifest quicker and get the good things into your life. And then we're always going to follow it up. If you watch it live on my channel, we're going to do some spot coaching. We're going to channel spirit, pull some tarot cards, maybe share some psychology knowledge, anything and everything that you might need in my powerful arsenal to help you get on the path of alignment and manifesting everything that you want. If you would Well, let's just get into it. So the 7 areas of happiness. Number 1, physical time. And the reason why there's 7 areas, because you have different hormones that your body releases that help with happiness. So each one of these different areas help your body in a different way for optimum happiness. So like physical time, right? That's where you're getting the walk in. That releases endorphins in your body. Endorphins help you feel good. So just walking 20 minutes at a slightly elevated pace. I'm not talking about go crazy, run a marathon, or go crazy, do HIIT. I'm just talking about if you just like genuinely can get outside or on a treadmill if it's super cold where you're at. Outside, you just get the benefit of the sun and vitamin D. But if you can move your body for 20 minutes and just elevate your heart rate, make it a little bit slightly, it's a little bit more difficult to talk, you get endorphins. Okay. So there's 7 areas. There's physical time, there's connecting time, there's focus time, there's play time, there's sleep time, there's downtime, and there's time in. Each one of those different areas tends to a different hormonal release in your body, or a like sleep time. That's where your body just repairs oxidative damage during the day, right? Because have you guys ever done this where you just like wake up and you're irritable, but I mean, come on, you only slept 5 hours the night before, you know? You get a couple of bad night sleeps in a row, yeah, you're going to be irritable. You cannot get high vibe if you're not getting enough sleep. So physical time, that one releases endorphins. Connecting time is where it's like meaningful conversation, conversation where you active listening, conversation where you actually feel seen, heard, and validated by the other person. That's also hugging someone else, right? Because I don't know if you guys, like the studies are out that when you hug someone, I think it's at least for 30 seconds, your body starts releasing, I don't remember all the hormones right now, guys, but it releases like oxytocin and maybe serotonin, right? So if you don't have somebody you could hug yourself, you could hug your teddy bear. It's just when you get that connecting time, active listening, and it's communicating not just from blah, here's my emotional dump of my day of why I feel so bad. It's when it's communicating to seek understanding. And there's a great book about that, Nonviolent Communication by Marshall Rosenberg. He kind of teaches you a new way to communicate in there. And I'll do a live on that too. But if the point of being in front of the other person is to show compassion and you're seeking to understand, like, oh, you had a good week? Tell me more why. Oh, you got an A on your test? Oh, and your A, your parents are proud. And then, like, when they're proud, and that's also something they reward, so they give you money, and you're going to use your money to take your girlfriend out on a date. Okay, I now truly understand why that A is so good for you, right? That is a core level of seeing the other person for who they are, where they're at, and why they're happy, versus okay, you got an A? Well, good job, high five. Okay, good job, like, you're smart, right? The other person's gonna be like, oh, cool, they celebrated with me, but they're not gonna see seen at that. No, but this means my parents are happy. This means I get money. This means my girlfriend's gonna be happy. This means I get to provide an awesome experience for my girlfriend. This means not only do I get to feel smart and intelligent, I get to feel included with my family, and I get to feel like I'm providing an awesome experience. Like, do you guys see that 2 different levels of in-depth potential connection with the other person? That's sometimes why you can hang out with someone for a while and afterwards you're like, I don't know if I enjoyed that. I don't know if I feel recharged. Or you feel drained, right? Because when you feel drained, you're hanging out with someone that you shouldn't be hanging out with. Or it's not that it's a black or white, don't hang out with them ever. It's that some people you're only meant to interact with every other week, right? There's some friends who are just supposed to be once a quarter when you see them around town, you bump into them like, oh my God, let's catch up and get coffee. And then there's some people who are supposed to be part of your daily life. Because when you're around someone who's just emotional dumping, hear my problems, hear everything that's going wrong. If you're not in a mindset to hear that or receive that or just be a witness for them, that's what I mean. There's therapists are great for that, right? Can you be tuned in enough to go, I'm really sorry you're going through this hard time. I could see that you're going through a tough time. I'm not in a mental space to really be there for you the way you need to be there. And like, look, I love you. I want to connect, but like, I'm needing a little in time right now. That's another area of happiness. So it's the connecting time is when both people are fully authentic with, hey, here's where I'm at. I see where you're at. I see what you need, but here's where I'm at too. Can we come together for a win-win? Or do we need to, hey, I trust you as a competent adult that you can get this need satisfied somewhere else. I'm still here for you. I still love you. That's when your relationships turn to recharging. So focus time, focus time. This is the time where you're productive, right? This is the time where you're going to work. You're making the grocery shopping list. Focus time. You're getting your taxes done. You're sitting down and focusing on like organized work, masculine energy work, quantitative work. You're going to the grocery store. You're paying your bills. And the reason why this area is important, guys, no, this doesn't necessarily release a hormone like two of the other ones does, but it gets stuff done so that worry doesn't creep in, right? Because focus time is paying your bills. If you're a business owner who's like just starting out and you're so worried if you're gonna make money or not, so you're just, oh, I'm gonna ignore the bills, I'm gonna ignore the tax bill, you have this low key vibration of worry going on. Whereas instead, if you just focus and go, okay, here's information my accountants need, send it to them, or if you're filling it out on your own, I don't know where you're at financially, can you take the time to do it just so you can become aware of, okay, this is my tax bill. Sometimes you'll be surprised. I've had clients who've done and go like, hey, I actually owe significantly less than I owe. They were carrying that unnecessary worry. That focus time, when you sit down and just do what needs to get done, you're either, number one, taking care of that unnecessary worry, or number two, you are planning out your work in advance so that when you get off work, you can shut your mind down, right? Because business owners, they tend to be like, oh, but I'm passionate, which is number 3 on the emotional guidance list. I'm passionate. I like doing this. Passion and obsession have a fine line, guys. Passion is when the actions kind of energize you a bit. Obsession is when you're at a party like, oh yeah, girl, I can talk about this all day. Let me pull some tarot cards for you. Oh yeah, let me give you, if you're a doctor, let me give you a free consult. Oh yeah, I love this, girl, let me do it. It's like it has that prove energy of, no, I love it this much that I can talk about it all the time. No, let go of that pressure off of your day job, like just let go of that pressure. Your business doesn't have to be your end all be all. You guys are smart enough to know that there's not one person on this planet who's going to be your end all be all. Yes, can you get married, lifelong partner, and have that main person who's going to be there alongside you with your life and be a powerful source of support for you? You're smart enough to know that they can't be everything for you. They might meet 7 of your 9 core needs. Well, that's a pretty darn good person to marry if they meet 7 of your 9 needs. Where else are you going to get creative to fill those other 2 areas of your needs? Or are you going to beat them up? You don't cuddle me enough. You don't do this enough. Can you just become aware, I have these needs. Hey, I'd love for these needs to get met by you. They can't? Okay, I'll go elsewhere. Or, hey, these are actually pretty important for me for these to get met by my significant other. And then recognize the incompatibility and go your own way. Okay, so playtime. This is where you get to relax. You get to do, it's the gleeful play. It's the childish, the 2-year-old who's just, paint with me, cuddle me, you're laughing, you're feeling that wee feeling. So you're on a swing and you're just like feeling that rush, the wind against your body, the rush in your stomach, or maybe you're blowing bubbles. After a while, at first you're like, okay, this is stupid. If you do it like a good minute, you'll soon just see all bubbles around you and you'll start laughing. You need that gleeful bit into your life. You need to remind yourself that's just delight. That's outrageous joy. Those are those super high vibes. You need that time where you can just be in that area. Okay, and then there's sleep. We've already covered that a bit. Your body's repairing the oxidative damage throughout the day. Your cells are just getting the rest that they need. Your brain needs a certain amount of daytime just so you can be happy. Downtime. This is where you're doing the more mellow activities. This is where you're also getting intellectual stimulation. You're reading books, right? So everyone is inspired by everyone else. All works, right? My work that I'm sharing with you right now is based on other people's works. Books I've read, people I've talked to. I've been able to go, oh, when these 7 areas in a person's life is tended to, they tend to be pretty successful and doing better off. If I didn't read all those books, I could have had these sources of inspiration. So downtime is just where you let yourself watch a movie. You allow yourself to get immersed in another reality. So you're letting go of all your problems, right? You're letting go of all your momentum and your thoughts, and you're immersing yourself in something else. This allows whatever energy and momentum you have towards a manifestation, especially for the unwanted, if you're thinking thoughts that are unhelpful. If you get some downtime, watch a movie where you just get immersed in it, watch a book where you get immersed in it, casually, quiet, alone. So you're not playing on your phone. In fact, you turn your phone in like airplane mode and like, so you can't, like, it's like you get to shut off and like, and daydream. This is when you're daydreaming. This is when you're like, okay, Well, like, let's just pretend I have all the money I need for what I want. What would it look like? Would I have this? Would I have that? It's that imagination time too. It's to get immersed in another world, whether you decide to meditate or to read a book. Okay. Time in. This is the last category, guys, and then we're going to go into some live intuitive coaching for those who are live. So keep staying tuned if you're live, and take notes on this, and I will in the comments afterwards. I'll write the 7 areas in a shortened way so that you can just kind of have a little cheat sheet for it. But definitely comment, like, what are you doing for these different areas, guys? Share, because maybe I'll like something you do, maybe you'll like something I do, maybe you'll like something someone else does. Right? We're a community here. So time in. I think I said meditation is in downtime. Meditation is in time in. It kind of depends exactly how you're doing the meditation. If you're doing the meditation to talk to your future self, to just hang out with your spirit guide, to just receive the energy from your future self, that's kind of like downtime. But when you do like the inner child work, or when you're going in to tap into your emotions, that's time in. This is your inward time where you're tending between you and your inner body. Like, all right, body, you know, we binged last week, so let me hear you. What was your unmet need? Oh, you didn't like the way he spoke to you, felt disrespected, right? If that's your heart talking to you, now your mind and your physical body have to go, okay, here are things I could say next time. Hey, that actually won't work for me. When I did that errand for you last week, I ended up overwhelming myself. And like, I just can't be in a state. I've got enough other stuff to do. Even better, right? Because you don't need to justify your needs. You go like, oh, I know you need that done. I don't have enough time. Or, hey, that's something I'd love. I wish I could help you with that. I don't have the time right now, though. I have enough of the things on my plate, and I don't really want to get overwhelmed right now. That's a fine enough answer, guys. But this is where you're meditating, you're journaling, you're reaching inward, you're doing shadow work, you're doing inner child work. You're just doing that work to get to know yourself, clean up anything unwanted, clean up anything old. Or it could even be time in and downtime could get a little blended right here. Because sometimes getting clear on what you want the future to look like, that's time when you're like, oh my God, I want to be like married and having babies. When you have those epiphany moments. Oh my God, I want to start a business. Oh my God, I want to throw a dance event. That would be time in. But then when you allow yourself to visualize into the future of it, like, okay, if I'm doing a dance, then I want like the vegan people over here, and I want Reiki over here, and I want like bass in my music. That's kind of like downtime because you're immersing yourself in a future possibility. All right, guys, but I hope that helped clarify that. Anyone who's live, do you have any questions on these 7 areas of happiness and how they apply to your specific manifestation right now? Because we could keep the topic going on this a little bit longer before we go into any questions you might have that are off topic. But yeah, do you have any questions on, and I'm looking for the comment area. Oh, here we go. Hey, Andrani, what's up? It's good to see you too. Welcome. Hey, Ida, I'm so glad you made it. Guys, hit me in the comments right now if you have any questions on these 7 areas. And once we wrap up this discussion, then we'll go into some live mini challenge for you. God, it's so good to see so many of you. Karen, I've been getting your messages. I've just been traveling and road tripping and living so much good life. It's nice to see you, though. I'm really glad that you're here, Karen. And we got Concha. Woo! I'm in focus time energy today. I felt it was so much fun this weekend. Perfect balance. Let me see. Let me get the comments are jumping around. Perfect. So yeah, focus time. Get your bills done. Get your taxes done, guys. We don't need that worry on us. Get your planning done. Get your focus time is also, okay, I'm launching this event this day, and here's all the steps I need to take. Writing your to-do list. That's focus time. Then you don't have to, am I going to forget something? Am I going to do this? It's like, nope, I've got my to-do list. I'll do it this way. I'll then allow myself reflect time, downtime afterwards, time in to how did it go? Do I want to add in more Instagram posts? Do I want to add in collabs? I dance every day. Love it. Perfect. And Johnny, I've been getting into belly dancing lately. That's been some good second chakra opening. Some great sex I've been having too.
Good, you're getting confirmation. Natalie, do you schedule each or let it flow naturally? That is a really good question, Natalie. I'm so happy to have heard that question. Oh my God, I'm so proud of you, girl, too. So guys, there is an element of some of these you have to schedule, right? Like this High Vibe Monday, I have to schedule it. I had to put it in my calendar. And today I got into, okay, I'm just gonna let it flow beforehand, Natalie. But now that I'm doing this, I'm like, wait, actually, next time I do this, I want to write this out on just a blank sheet of paper so I could show you guys, hey, here's the 7 areas, right? So I now know that next week when I have my topic prepared, I also want to allow myself like just a 10, 20, 30, not 30 minutes, that's not gonna take me that long, 10, 20 minutes so I can focus it at my desk and write it out. That would make it more enjoyable for me to present it to you, and I'm sure it'd be easier for you guys to like read it as I go through it so it sinks in a little bit more, right? Because some people are auditory learners, some people are visual, so this would help the visual learners more. So some of it you've got to schedule, right? You just got to be willing to treat your business like a business. You just got to be willing to treat work like work. You got to be willing to treat your relationship for the loving time in and downtime that it is and the connecting time. Sometimes you have to focus on it like, okay, he and I weren't quite connecting. So, hey, babe, what was it about the experience that made you think that you didn't feel fully loved? Oh, I told you to be there at 11, but I keep showing up at 11:20. Like, oh, it's because I'm driving, though. Okay, I can understand that you're driving, but I don't like waiting. It makes me feel disrespected. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Let's just add in a buffer. When I say I'm going to be there at 10, like let's just note that that's like the early, but I'm likely 10:30. Or if the other person can't manage that, that's where in your mind you go, wow, this is a big deal for them. I now know that I'm just going to tell them that I'm going to arrive 30 minutes after I actually think I am. That way, if you're driving and you want to go off on the side of the road, do a pit stop, you can do it and get your experience while they still feel respected. So sometimes you have to give yourself the time. Some things you're going to have to schedule, Natalie. Some things you just have to go, okay, within the next 48 hours at some point, I need a solution to this. Does that make sense about kind of keeping that the open space, right? And like lastly, like I want to start doing daily Instagram reads. When I took a photo in the morning, I forgot to post one. I want to start doing them Monday through Friday on my Instagram. I didn't get Fridays out. I now know, okay, wait, if I'm going to take a road trip, I may not be in the mindset after driving for 7 hours to write a post. That means before I leave, I need to do it in the morning. So I now know that that's something I need to schedule while still allowing for the flow of my life. Like Natalie, these 7 areas of happiness, like mastering them, it is the inward journey. Instead of the cleanup journey of the old, the shadow work, the inner child, this is the new getting to know yourself work as you're moving towards something. And this is perfect for law of attraction because that's that eager anticipation forward. Ooh, how well do I get to know myself now, right? Like, I knew that I wanted a better background. I spent some time on it. Okay, you've got that. Yvette, oh my God, it's so good to see you on here too. Tell me more about talking to your future self. Okay. Oh, Yvette, I should make that into a meditation. So check it out, Yvette, right? It's so good to see you again. Oh, do you still have that painting, Yvette? Oh my God. I made myself a little framed one here and have it on my desk. It just like beams love at me all day. I love it. Okay, so Yvette, talking to your future self, that's because if you're at a state of mind where you can do that, you can relax enough to allow the future you, the part of you that already has what you want, right? Because you're here, Yvette. You send off a rocket of desire for an experience. Your inner being is already there. And it's saying, hey, come this way. Come this way. So speaking to your future self is utter self-acceptance. This is where I'm at right now. I'm not making the kind of money I want to make. I'm not dating the kind of man I want to be dating. I'm not having XYZ. Or if you can view it on the more positive side, that's when you're saying things like, I do desire an additional revenue stream. You know what? I have my business. I have my amazing husband. I have my babies, and I'm just desiring another revenue stream. And you allow yourself the time to prepay of that. And I know that when this revenue stream that comes in, I want it to feel easeful. I want it to feel light. I want it to feel maybe just a sense of fluff. Maybe this new income stream can come from that area of happiness that feels like glee, that feels like that's the playtime. Like, is there a revenue stream, inner being, that I could develop that would be like that playtime that just feels gleeful, right? Could I look forward to learning how to invest stock, learning how to invest in this Tesla and Elon Musk guy? Like, is there a way I could view that gleeful and playful? Oh, look at this stock, look at this stock, look at that stock. That's where you're at, Yvette. So we're answering your question on the topic, but we're also applying a little bit intuitive hot seat coaching for you right now. You're at the point of being able to focus on, I know I want this, and I'm okay that I don't know how to let that in right now. My future self knows how. So future self, show me the way that I can allow this in a playful way, in a gleeful way. You're at the stage of mastering the prepayment, letting go the how, right? Because step one, prepay for what you want and how you want to feel when it comes in, what you want and why you want it. I want a boyfriend because it'd be fun. I want more money because I want to buy more stuff for my kids. Watching my kids have more fun stuff. Oh, they laugh, they're gleeful. And you know what? It is fun throwing bubbles in the air. I want to be able to buy so many bubbles that we can just be laughing all day. What you want and why you want it. And then you let go of it. Let the universe do step two. You're in step three, receiving mode of, okay, inner being, you want me to call so-and-so? Okay, inner being, you want me to offer this new product at my spa? All right, now let me take the focus time, the action on that. Okay, does that answer your question all the way, Yvette? Concha, which one was it where you feel validated, good conversation, seek to understand? That was connecting time. So guys, and you know what? That's a good question there. Here, you guys are gonna get a little tea on my inner life and my manifestations. One way that I have in the last 3 months, my happiness is just like skyrocketed as I've been willing to admit, here are my needs. And that's a sheer level of vulnerability. I need a certain amount of connecting time. And I'm starting to realize that's not, the boyfriends are not the best at that. Guys in general are not the best at sitting there listening, talking, validating. But I'm starting to recognize that the men I'm hanging out with, they get me in my body. They get me into physical time, but like legit, they get me in my body moving, hiking. Yes, sexy time too. They're really good at helping you ground in your physical body. They're really good at like a little bit less talking, right? So I have a therapist right now. I book every other week with her. And it's just because I just love, like, I fully understand the transactional relationship. And it's like, hey, it's someone who, if I'm learning a new skill, a new interpersonal skill, I get to practice with her. Like, hey, I was reading about conflict resolution and this way, like, can I practice that with you? And then her and I will practice the conversation. So I'm getting some of my in time, but also in relation with someone else. I'm getting heard. I'm like, hey, and sometimes I'm like, hey, can you actually just hear me talk about my program, my Becoming Who You Really Are program? And like, if there's something you think I'm missing because, you know a lot of psychology too, can you maybe fill in some gaps? Ha, she didn't. I felt confident out my ass after that. But it's knowing that, like, a boyfriend may not be able to give that to me. A friend isn't going to be able to get that to me, Concha, because I want dedicated focus on someone who is older than me. She's like 30, 40 years older than me. She's read more books than me. She has a different life experience than me. I want that older person experience of them focused on me. And hey, some weeks it's my love life. Some weeks it's my business. Sometimes it's how do I blend the two. I want, right? So it's when you can get to know yourself so well that, like, I have that need. And here's how I'm going to get it met. Now, like, I don't need that as much from my friends or the guys I'm dating. I can just get in playtime with them. Because when I'm around my guy, the person I'm going to marry, it's not because he's doing therapy sessions with me. I've had boyfriends like that. I don't want that. I want playtime. I want sexy time. I want drinking wine over vineyard time. All right, does that answer that question, Concha? Ah, Karen, miss you too. It's so nice to see you. Debbie's in the house. I haven't seen you all too. I have to laugh because there's so much truth in divine timing. I'm so happy I finally caught you live, and what a perfect topic. Oh, good. I'm so glad this is helping, Debbie. So glad it's helping. Oh yeah, so for those of you who want to work a little bit more in-depth and personal with me, I've got 2 awesome ways to do that right now. If you want a personal and you want, like, this is if you want it quicker and you want it personal, book a power hour.
Any problem you have, any problems you have, we're going to solve it in just an hour. So I have one offs available right now. The link is in the description, I believe, to book that. If it's not, just DM me, I'll get it to you. But I also have a workshop this Friday. It's called Boost. I'm getting, my team and I are still getting all the copy written and it posted. I'll do a post on it on this page. If you 100% want to be there and you're afraid you might miss the post, just DM me, hey, when you post it, tag me or send me the link to sign up. It's going to be this Friday, I think 12 p.m., but I'm going to teach you kind of how to balance the manifesting while in alignment and out of alignment, because you guys can manifest while low vibe. So it's going to help you master that skill of always being manifesting no matter what emotion you're at. And then, of course, I'm going to do some live hot seat coaching there. So you guys could do either. Okay, Natalie, that answered your question. Great. Going to try to tap into my masculine side more to get stuff done. I've been tapping my feminine side to write the things I've been working on, but it needs to go to, yes, Debbie, yes. And Debbie, one way, if you guys have been in feminine mode for a very long time and need to get into action mode, right? Be gentle, because guys, the reason why I haven't been going live for a very long time or even posting Instagram stuff is because I was hanging out with a guy off grid. He owned a campground like an hour away from here off grid. I was waking up to like no cell service, no internet, just these 12 chickens he had. It was like 30, 40 acres of land that had a river running through it. I was just staying out there, hanging out with his dogs, helping him grow stuff, helping him burn wood. Like we were having fires almost every night to burn new campsites for him. Like I was legit off grid. I was hardcore feminine. And so it took me like a week of, I just made myself get up and go walk. And believe it or not, guys, that was actually incredibly hard. I was like, wait, I have to do something other than wake up and go outside and pet a chicken. Have you guys ever had a chicken cuddle? Oh my God, those are amazing. Chickens are so in the moment towards happy, happy, happy. Then I just started going on a walk. I got my walk done, right? The second week, I got one in the morning, one in the evening. The third week, I started doing Instagram daily polls. The fourth week, look, now I'm doing the live. Now I've got the copy written for the one-on-one power hour. So if you guys want that, click the link, book it. I've almost got the copy and everything done for the workshop, right? So it's allowing that momentum on it to build. And like just going on a walk is a very good way to start the momentum of the masculine going. Yvette is saying,